We should be live.
Amen.
Give it a minute. Give it a minute to pop up on YouTube. Give us a minute to get everything settled and good to go. Hello, everyone. Oh.
Amen.
Okay, we both sound pretty good.
Good.
All right. Hello, everyone. That's the audio check done. Welcome back. It's been a bit. Sorry. We had things happening in our real life. Some of them were fun, happy, good things that you can learn about on our podcast if you go watch that. Others were not fun, happy, good things. Others were work, grueling, painful schoolwork.
Mine wasn't that one.
His was real world work. Mine was graduate school work. So, but we made it through to the other side. And today, we are here to finally bring you once again more Umineko.
Yeah, I almost didn't make it, and I may not yet make it. We'll see.
Yeah, we might have complications once again. We don't know. Hopefully we'll be lucky and we won't. But also, you might be able to tell. I don't know how well you guys know our voices at this point, but it is kind of early for us because my voice is kind of a morning voice right now. So
it's early Neko.
We're gonna see how me being Dlanor goes.
Let's see, I was gonna check. I remember we were actually close to the end.
Oh well, welcome back. Welcome back.
Yeah, there's only 5 chapters left. That's crazy.
We can get through all of it right now.
Let's do it.
I'll spam the space bar.
Thankfully, I have been trying to do my Beatrice voice 24/7 because I just keep saying "indeed, battler" when I'm doing nothing. Yeah, I keep doing that. I'll be by myself and I'll do that. Also, this song is a bop. I believe this is ACL, if I remember right. Anyway.
The Secretary of Hell could summarize those 600 pages into 6 letters.
Do we want to do a recap before we start getting into this? I don't...
Yeah, probably.
I don't remember. Wait. Okay, so...
Okay, what had happened is they're trying to break down how Kinzo is not in this room.
Yes.
And Erica was like, here's the evidence that supports that he's not in here. He wasn't in here. Or they're like, he could not exist because there's no way for him to have escaped because of the receipt in the door.
Yeah.
And Beatrice was like, we did it with magic. And then Erica was like, I don't play those games. And summoned Dlanor.
I don't play those games. What was she? What is Dlanor's title? She's the Archbishop Witch Hunter or something?
Something. It's in her tips, but
yeah,
she's got some crazy lore.
Archbishop Witch Hunter. Cut her nuts up.
Yeah. Oh.
So now Dlanor's here. And
now I really hope we don't get true. Would you play that game again, by the way? But anyway, I really hope that there's no new characters because I am not at my normal computer, so I don't got the sauce, the tech.
All right.
Let's see what happens.
Well, let's see after a week if I can remember Dlanor's sauce. So.
True.
Allow me to ask.
Danger.
A fitting summary. When I return, I will summarize the materials on you using only 2 letters more, out of respect.
Executed.
This is crazy. Why do they look weird now? Why are they spaced out?
I don't know.
So I'm cute now. You're too polite, my guest.
Dlanor gets here and immediately messes everything up dialogue-wise.
Then let us continue, Miss Beatrice. I, Dlanor, the head Inquisitor of Heresy, do humbly accept my role as your opponent.
There you go.
My first move is over. If you can't remove the blue wedge from that Fururo Erika over there, then you might as well totter back up to heaven and get back to your usual boring job of stamping fawns. Please do something about this wedge thing. It looks like Beatrice-san thinks she's already achieved checkmate with this alone.
After making a show of tapping her finger on the blue wedge that pierced her, Erika shrugged as though taunting Beatrice.
But Beatrice...
It's okay. I'm just toying with her a bit. After all, if things get bad, I can grab Kinzo and run out of here whenever I want. I can leave this room at any time and go anywhere.
Oh, that's right. I forgot also that Erika did see Kenzo, but like, maybe he wasn't really Kenzo because she was like, "You're not real, dummy." And then he was like, "Yeah, you right."
They're doing it like it's metaphorical. They're like, you're Kinzo's ghost.
Yeah.
Which he is. Well, the witches side are like, he is, but we're trying to make you not think that he is.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a whole dang thing.
Bro. She's not allowed to say that.
Oh, yes, she
That's
is.
Battler's line.
That is useless.
Depending on your definition, she is technically on Battler's side right now.
Yeah?
It's kind of weird right now, though.
Yeah.
It's...
Oh.
The music stopped.
Now that you've met up with me, this is your demise. Escape will not be permitted. None can escape.
I love weird little faces on the Umineko characters. True, we can't deny that it'd be possible for Father to suddenly wake up and go somewhere. But you know what? I can say for sure that such a thing couldn't have happened. You know why?
How could I know? Are you trying to say you stood outside the door all night, watching to make sure the head didn't take a step outside?
Yes, someone was watching. This kid right here. Holy. Okay.
Gertrude?
That's me.
Dang.
That's me, I guess, because you had Dlanor, so this has to be me.
You just saying, man, I sure hope no new characters show up.
Okay, let me think. I know this character. I gotta search my everything to find another female voice at 11 in the morning.
This music.
Yeah, it's popping off. Let me try something here. Please allow me to speak. Let it be known that entering or exiting through the door is impossible. The palace guards are ordered to blockade the study door.
The doors to heaven opened with a strong, unrelenting radiance like the sun's, announcing the arrival of Dlanor's underlings. Those words were clad in the red truth and cut off the witch's method of escape. Shysters?
Shyster 410 right here.
Shyster 45, right here. It has been some time, great Lady Beatrice. We were dispatched in accordance with the Alliance Agreement, number 1516, and a request from the Great Court of Heaven. We apologize for the rudeness that is to follow.
We formed a precision blockade on the study door, yeah. I think it's best if you stay away from it, yeah?
Allow me to speak. I say again, from last night at 2300 until the present time, the study door was not opened even once.
What is that scrap of paper?
It's a completely ordinary receipt. But even so, this mere scrap of paper proves that you lied.
She called the scrap of paper a kid?
Yeah.
Why are you so weird, Ava? Why?
Last night, when you came out of the study, Ava saw her chance and wedged a receipt into the crack of the study door. And it fell down just now when Rudolph-kun opened the door for us.
I know what that means. In other words, from 2300 last night until now, Father couldn't possibly have opened this door.
Nuh-uh, because Natsuhi saw the receipt and put it back in there because she thought Kenzo put it there, so he wanted it there. What did you say?
Rudolph, the window is locked, right? Yeah, that's why I smashed the glass.
The other windows are all locked as well. They're built so that you can't lock them from the outside.
Dang. Hey, there.
I'm digging this, like, double debate going on right now.
Yeah, it's really interesting.
Allow me to speak. Know that the windows were all locked. Palace guards, blockade all of the windows.
By the name of Eisern Jungfrau, I give the palace guards permission to make use of forbidden weapons.
Understood. Entire force permission granted for use of forbidden weapon, Red Warhead. Begin transmitting activation code.
I've heard of Red Truth. What's the Red Warhead?
Nya? The password doesn't work, nya?
A little bit of Maria came out in that.
410, turn caps lock off and try again.
Dang.
Be crazy if it works.
Shyster Squad, precision blockade for study door and all windows complete. We warn the great Lady Beatrice that if anything is caught passing through these physically, conceptually, or by any other method, we will shoot without warning.
Data link from Angel Satellite. Format. Model conceptual guidance.
You cut out for like half of that.
No! Well, you heard it. Homing format, verdict, model, conceptual guidance.
Yeah. Military jargon, kind of.
Yeah, exactly.
And on top of that, we've got red warheads, nya. Impossible to shoot down, impossible to avoid, impossible to survive when hit. It'd smash even Lady Beatrice into bits, nya.
The Shyster Squad had laid down a pinpoint blockade over the door and all the windows. Escape would no longer be permitted through any of these.
My. I should be doing the welcoming, but it seems I am the one being welcomed. I'm grateful for the courtesy call, and you've even brought the Shyster sisters.
Allow me to inform you that your paths of retreat have been cut off. Commander Dlanor, let us now remove the sin and purify. You've done well, Miss Beatrice. I've had your paths of retreat terminated. You cannot leave through the door, nor can you leave through the windows. Therefore, escape will now be prohibited.
You think you shut me in with this alone?
Dang.
The Inquisitor of Heresy in Heaven and her subordinates surrounded the witch. The subordinates used a powerful barrier to cut off Beato's methods of escape. Demons tend to resist capture, and as a result, they sometimes escape. However, angels counter by blocking off passages of escape, allowing them to eradicate their targets without fail.
In other words, this study was a perfect closed room from the time Nazi Nason claims she said goodnight to the time Rudolph opened the door.
In that case, Father would have to be here, but there's not even a trace of him. Come on, what the hell's going on?
I keep telling you to calm down. The thought that I, Beatrice, could be shut in just because the doors and windows are closed is simply laughable. Kinzo. I was just playing around, but it seems our guest has no such intentions. Let's withdraw before we lose our chance.
Yes, I would not regret losing this life of mine, but for Nazi's sake, I cannot die yet.
Beato waved her pipe, and the air was split vertically. Then, a pitch-black gate appeared and slowly opened. It was a warp portal, the same as the pitch-black holes that Gop used.
I believe this was written on my files. An elusive phantom can appear from anywhere and disappear to anywhere. As long as Kinzo has me, it will be impossible to capture him.
She has files?
Mm-hmm.
The pitch-black gate opened. That gate led from everywhere to nowhere. Both Beato and Kinzo would be sent to a place where no one could catch them. A place where no one could set foot in, much less chase after them.
This is the study of the Oshiromiya family head, and it is also a room that Father helped to design personally. Would it really be so strange if he had some way to get outside without using the door?
Yes, that's correct. There would be nothing strange about the Master having a hidden door.
A hidden door? And where would that be?
It's a hidden door, so I don't know. There are several devices and hidden doors in the mansion that only Father knows of. No one has seen them directly, but everyone in this mansion knows about them vaguely. Correct?
Dang.
Did it get any of that?
It got yet from you.
Yes. I said it. I swear I said it. I'm using my mulligan here. It's true that there have been always... Yeah. No. It's true that there have always been rumors about hidden passages only the Master knows of.
Yes, it was written that way. No, it was not correct. No.
You deciphered what I said correctly. Thank you.
Yeah. Yes. No.
No.
It's true that Kinzo-san would probably like devices such as that.
Oh, and there are hidden doors, after all. No matter how much people such as ourselves might search, it's only natural that we won't find them.
I see. So it's a devil's proof. You're saying we can't deny the possibility a hidden door exists in this room.
The Raven! Get out the Raven!
True. That's nonsense. A farce. Even considering that your lie about concealing Father's death is about to be revealed, how dare you?
That's right. Just where in this study is there a hidden door? Try and prove that it exists.
Oh.
Proof is unnecessary. It's a devil's proof. It's impossible to find a hidden door, and therefore impossible to disprove that it exists. Therefore, no one can deny the possibility that Kinzo escaped from this study through a hidden door.
You already know what's coming, though.
Oh, here we go.
Holy
She has a sword!
Mm-hmm.
I will
This
not.
music.
I will not allow a hidden door to exist in this room.
Beato's blue wedge, which had been fired off as a farewell gift, was crushed with a flash of Dlanor's longsword, and the pitch-black gate was crushed as well.
You know, I'm gonna be honest. I never personally understood the desire to crossplay until I've seen Dlanor. But
Yeah?
anyway. Mm-hmm.
Oh,
She's so cool.
Dlanor, I've mentioned this several times as well, but even though we don't have the voice actors on, the VA for Dlanor is actually the Japanese VA for Raiden Shogun in Genshin Impact as well, so...
Yeah.
This was one of her earlier jobs.
So many actual stacked Japanese VA cast in this. It's crazy.
Yeah. And it wasn't just crushed visibly and physically. The warp portal conceptualizing hidden doors would remain destroyed from that point onward. Concept battle?
Yeah.
Why could someone like you, who's neither the owner of the study nor the game master, use the red truth? What was that?
What, to you?
What do you mean you will not allow hidden doors to exist? It's because this is the mystery genre. Nox's third. It is forbidden for hidden passages to exist.
Don't you know, Beatrice? Don't you know that it's because it's the mystery
Doesn't
genre?
know the rule Knox is.
Don't you know the rule Knox is?
Hidden doors mustn't exist in the mystery genre. Sorry about that.
In this world, there are no other gods except our god, and no hidden doors exist. They must not exist, and we won't let them exist. They are blasphemy against our god.
Every time with that face.
Enough pride in you to shock a witch. It's so painful to watch that it's actually pleasurable.
They're putting me, I don't know about you, but they're putting me through the ringer on voice acting.
now. We're
Here it is, the 10 wedges to pierce witches. Just like usual, it's the kind of irrational argument I just love to hear.
What a fool. The devil's proof might have been vague enough to let you escape from everything until now. But now that you're up against Dlanor, that move won't work anymore, Beatrice. As I thought, you're no different from any witch after all. I'm disappointed.
Rieto. It seems this isn't an opponent we'll be able to escape from easily, after all.
Please do entertain me, Beatrice, son. You should at least serve some tea for your guests. It doesn't even matter if it's third rate. Come on, please use the blue truth. And tell me how Kinzo-san escaped from the closed room study. Very well. Make sure you don't cry.
This whole scene is banger after banger.
It's possible that after slipping out the door, Kinzo noticed the trick with the receipt and correctly returned it to its original place.
Denial of that which the red has already been finished. After 2300, the door to the study was not opened even once.
Kinzo might have been a marvelous magician and an inventor, right? He might have invented a drug that turns his body to mist and slipped out through the keyhole.
No such drug exists. It must not exist.
Or maybe he invented a teleport device, right? That possibility is undeniable because of the devil's proof.
Such a machine does not exist. I will not allow it to exist.
Oh, so you can examine every drug in the world? You can deny the existence of unknown scientific devices? There's no way you can. It's a devil's proof. You cannot deny that they might exist.
I will repeat. By the name of God, I will not let such a drug or machine exist.
That goes hard.
Right?
I will not allow them to exist for all eternity.
I love these two sprites next to each other.
Not even in the future. Oh, so you think you can even deny possibilities in the future of the human race? It's Nox's fourth. It is forbidden for unknown drugs or hard-to-understand scientific devices to be used.
Take that, Invisible Man.
The progression of humanity, as well as techniques and knowledge that might be obtainable in the future, are decided upon by our God. And the denial of their existence has been proclaimed for eternity. Therefore, I will not allow for such a technique to exist for all eternity. It is not permitted.
Beato and Dlanor had supposedly just gone through a massive exchange of red and blue. However, not only did Dlanor not take any damage, she also showed no signs of fatigue. Beato might have been a fearsome witch, but blood flowed through her veins, and she did breathe. She felt both pain and fatigue. But Dlanor was like a doll made of marble. She felt no fatigue, no pain, no hesitation. Even if Beato's sharp wedges had aimed right for Dlanor's eyes, she wouldn't have shut them. In fact, it's doubtful that she even blinks in the first place.
Beatrice, hang in there.
Well, I'd already heard the rumors, but our compatibility really is awful. To think that dreams, hopes, and even future possibilities would be forbidden. The price of the gods is overwhelming. I'd expect no less from a witch hunt executioner. It seems we'll never be able to enjoy a drink together.
Even the strikes that had made Battler surrender over and over had absolutely no effect on Dlanor.
Well, I more or less knew that was coming. To think that I'd be repelled so easily.
Quite a formidable opponent.
Oh my. So even the great goldsmith has gotten old and decrepit. Hearing those words come out of your mouth is rarer than seeing two comets in the night sky.
I'm not decrepit. I'm already dead.
Huh. That's true. Sorry, but I'm not letting you die for just a bit longer.
Beato experienced something she'd only rarely felt during her entire life. It was probably what we'd call hardship.
Also, hola to Tommy.
Hola. Beato quietly brushed aside Natsuhi's hand and tried to comfort her. And she regained her posture again, showing off her witch's pride and her continued readiness to fight.
Is that all? There was no need for me to come here. I'm disappointed.
I'm not done yet. I was just testing a few moves just now. I merely wish to measure your abilities. How foolish! Know your place, Golden Witch!
Lady Beatrice.
Beato's expression became tense once again. No longer was there any trace of mischief. The mood changed.
Another new one.
The time for playing is over. Here I go. In that case, I shall acknowledge that Kinzo did not enter or leave the study. Why don't I accept your closed room? Let it be known that Beatrice has changed her pattern of attack.
Okay, thanks, Gertrude. Beatrice, who had until then thoroughly resisted the idea that a closed room existed, did an about-face. She proclaimed that she accepted their proposition. Look at Dlanor.
Yeah, she's surprised.
Of course. This didn't mean she'd surrendered. This was a new attack of Beato's. Dlanor noticed this and readied herself.
What's going on? Why did Lady Beatrice acknowledge the closed room when she's trying to destroy it, yeah?
That's what I'm trying to figure out. Shut up.
Dlanor right now?
Yeah.
She's probably trying to claim that Kinzo existed outside of this room. Confirmation that the great Lady Beatrice's warp portal is reactivated. Natsu claims to have talked with Kinzo in the study, but she never said that she spoke with him face to face. Therefore, if Kinzo is in a location other than the study, there's no contradiction as long as they held a conversation.
No, I don't have. Well, no, I think we know our sisters at this point.
After bouncing at an erratic angle, the witch's stake pierced the top of Dlanor's foot.
You sure are slow. Top of the foot, all mine.
She's just like me, for real, for real.
I would be so afraid to be anywhere within like a 5-foot radius of Dlanor, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Natsu used the internal phone line in his study to speak with Kinzo, who was in another place. There'd be nothing strange if Kinzo, who hates the relatives, predicted that they'd enter his study and left to go elsewhere.
For some reason, I don't know why, but my brain just decided that the part of the sentence "who hates the relative" should have been in red while the rest of it was blue.
Real. Purple even.
Yeah. Both accusation and true. But
yeah. He might have gone to the hidden mansion, Kuadorian.
Asmodeus's stake, which contained the power of Beato's blue truth and pierced Dlanor's foot, changed into a blue wedge.
Not bad. That makes sense, yeah? Blue truth. Valid.
A cyclone of gold butterflies swept up with Beato at its center. The magical power of the once smashed black gate was once again refilled.
If I can manage to hold Dlanor off here, I'll be able to warp Kinzo out of the study this time, all the way to Kuadorian.
Dlanor moved clumsily, trying to pull the blue wedge out of her foot, but it didn't even budge. Of course, Beato didn't miss this chance. No witch would.
I've got more, so get ready. There's a chance the Kinzo Natsuhi mentioned.
That is really weird to see. Did you have a little mini stroke too?
What?
Well, I saw Kinzo Natsuhi, and because it was back-to-back proper names, I thought it was one name. Anyway. There's a chance, because it would be the Kinzo that Natsuhi mentioned, but it's just the Kinzo Natsuhi.
That in there, which I think that's still grammatically correct.
It still works,
but
it's just really weird to see and read, yeah. Thanks, English.
There's a chance the Kinzo Natsuhi mentioned does not refer to the person himself. The Kinzo... They did it again. The Kinzo Natsuhi spoke of might have been another name for this room, right? Kinzo had taken refuge in Kuadorian when it was impossible to contact. Perhaps Natsuhi called this room Father, and by contemplating inside it, she felt as though she had received some sort of revelation from Kinzo.
We're using the Natsuhi as schizophrenic argument?
Yep. Dang it, why? We've stopped your movement, you've already lost.
Hi, Biels. Bye, Biels. Beelzebub's blue wedge pierced the base of Dlanor's neck. Of course, even this didn't cause her to flinch, but her movements were restricted even further.
Interesting. Is that all?
You don't call it a full-course dinner if you stop at the soups and hors d'oeuvres.
I really like that line, I don't know why.
I'll hit you with the main dish and the dessert at once, so watch your stomach explode as you die. Even if, as you say, this is a closed room and impossible to escape from, you can't deny the possibility that he's still hiding in this room. I'm not talking about a hidden door. He might be under the bed or above the ceiling.
Above the ceiling is crazy.
He might be hiding in a truly unobtrusive blind spot that only demons could know of, right? Or it might be that Natsuhi, who is ordered to speak specially on Kinzo's behalf, considered herself both his representative and another Kinzo. In other words, it's possible that Natsuhi was also Kinzo. I've got plenty more. At 2300 last night, Kinzo escaped out the window. Natsuhi watched him go, then locked the window. This doesn't lead to any problems. In fact, it might be the most beautiful blue truth yet. How's that, Dlanor A, Knox? Yeah.
Wow, we're going out of the text box.
Yeah.
There are many ways to escape from this closed room.
Know your foolishness in trying to oppose my master.
There's no need for you to argue back.
Just lose and sleep for all eternity.
The seven sisters appeared from Beato's golden tornado, one after another, piercing Dlanor with blue wedges. 4 blue wedges were buried into her neck, chest, gut, and thigh. Including the one buried into the top of her foot, she was pincushioned by 5 stakes.
Beatrice-sama, When's my turn?
I'll use you if I think of any more. Be quiet for now. How do you like that, Dlanor the Witch Hunter? After skewering and burning so many witches in the past, how does it feel to be skewered by a witch this time?
They were all ridiculous arguments, but they came fiercely one after another. Though a total of 5 wedges pierced Dlanor, her expression didn't change in the slightest. However, her movements had indeed been limited.
Ooh, witches sure are scary, nya. You can't beat twisted logic, nya.
We don't violate the Knox Decalogue. It's valid.
the menacing fade in.
Well done, Beatrice. Even if there was no one in this study, and if it was all a closed room, that alone isn't enough to deny Father's existence.
Against a normal opponent, I think the matter's settled by now. But this is Dlanor, head Inquisitor of Heresy. This ruthless woman killed even her father when he violated the Decalogue. Kinzo, now!
Right.
Now that Dlanor had been pinned down, this was their last chance to recover their magical power and escape. Once again, a pitch-black gate began to rise slowly in front of Beato and Kinzo. Though the gate had once been opened by simply drawing in the air, it wasn't so easy in the study now, filled as it was with the power of denial. Sorry. Sorry.
Wrong person.
I know.
What do you think, everyone? No matter how much you question the state of this study, you can question whether or not Father is in good health.
Oh, so you say. Both you and I. Better not forget that we are part of this battle, right? I cannot fight against witches, but I can fight against you.
Rat time.
Yeah.
Erica grinned at Natsuhi with a smile more demonic than a real demon's.
Here, give me a second. I gotta let my cat out.
Okay.
He's gonna be loud if I don't let him out.
You're good, you're good. Oh. Not really rat time. Rat time's a code for something else that also starts with an R. Intellectual rat time. Oh. Boy. This has just been thing after thing, hasn't it? I don't even know what to say, honestly. Accusation after accusation after denial after denial. What an action-packed little chapter we found ourselves in here. A lot of blue and red truths flying around all over the place. Let's see. I'm not sure how. I feel like Dlanor's gonna put a stop to this somehow. I just don't know how, because Beatrice did throw out. Beatrice is battler pilled. She's getting battler pilled, where like she's pulling everything she can, the most ridiculous arguments possible that fit within the bounds of the rules, in order to gain victory. But I feel like, I mean, she just said, Beatrice was just like, it's not gonna be that easy. Dlanor's gonna pull out something soon, and we're gonna see it. And it's gonna be like in questions arcs when Beatrice would do something really dumb and overpowered, and I'd be like, of course you would pull some horse shit like this. Now Dlanor's gonna do that to Beatrice, probably.
Okay, I am back.
Welcome back.
Thanks. I think my cat's taken care of.
I sure hope he is.
Alrighty. Yeah, I wanted to see if he wanted food, but he just wanted to be a brat.
Dang.
So, which I suppose is fitting. Okay.
Yeah, the aura. He felt the aura.
Yeah. It's funny because he's been chilling here this whole time beside me. And I mean, obviously, Erica's been on screen a little more, but right before it's her moment, he was like, I gotta get out of here.
I don't know if you have your wireless headphones like you normally do. But I was talking to the audience and I said, it's rat time. Rat is code for something else that starts with an R.
True.
Intellectual rat time.
True. All right, ready? Here we go. Music's hyping me up.
Natsuhi-san, let me ask again. Last night, you're sure you spoke with Ushiromiya Kinzo-san, right?
Yes. I have said repeatedly that I came to deliver a report for the day and to say goodnight.
This may be a strange thing to ask, but since it's needed to prove your innocence, please answer me straightforwardly. This Kinzo you speak of is the Ushiromiya Kinzo-san we all know of, right? It isn't a different person or thing with the same name, is it?
I'm not really sure what you mean.
It's like this. You didn't, for instance, start calling this room itself Father after Father's death, right? That's what she's asking. You said you gave a daily report to Father before he went to sleep, right? That doesn't mean you gave a daily report to the wall here all by yourself inside the study called Father, right?
How rude! Nothing of the sort happened. Father is Father. He's in good health. And I most certainly gave him a report and said goodnight to him last night. I'm not trying to trick you or to talk my way out of anything.
I see. In that case, can you repeat what I'm about to say? If you aren't tricking or deceiving us in any way, you should be able to do it.
Fine. I'll repeat whatever you want.
Repeat it. Ushiromiya Natsuhi did, at 2300 last night, speak with Ushiromiya Kinzo while in the same room as him. This room.
I, Ushiromiya Natsuhi, did, at 2300 last night, speak with Ushiromiya Kinzo while in the same room as him. This room.
Good. Then I'll ask one last thing. Seriously now, Natsuhi-san? You didn't do anything like throwing Kinzo-san out the window after your conversation and locking the window behind him, right?
She's got the face.
Because everything still makes sense if you did.
Why would I want to chase Father out the window? This is intolerable. This mockery is intolerable.
Please allow me to speak. Let it be said that when Natsuhi refers to Kinzo, she means Ushiromiya Kinzo and nothing else.
Please allow me to speak. Natsuhi claims to have met face-to-face with Kinzo in the study at 2300.
Natsuhi let out a cry, but it was too late. She had been totally suckered in by their provocation. The blue wedge to the foot representing a telephone discussion. The blue wedge to the neck representing the study itself being called Kinzo. The blue wedge to the gut representing Natsuhi herself being called Kinzo. The blue wedge to the thigh representing Natsuhi letting Kinzo escape out the window and locking it afterwards. The four of them were smashed up with a thin sound, because Natsuhi, the only one who knew the truth, had denied them. Those denials had gained the power of the red truth. Despite Kinzo's absence in this closed room, Beato had introduced 5 ways that Kinzo could still exist. Natsuhi had carefully crushed the premises behind 4 of those herself. Only 1 wedge remained. In other words, this was the last blue truth that could bury the contradiction of Kinzo's existing in the study at 2300, but not existing there later, and it became a closed room. After it became a closed room. There was only the theory that pierced Dlanor's chest. Kinzo is hiding somewhere in the room. With that theory, even if Kinzo wasn't present in this closed room study, he could still exist there. If this wedge of Satan's were to be crushed, their chances of escaping the room would become hopelessly dim.
Beatrice-sama! Quickly! Escape while you still can!
Dlanor slowly grasped the final wedge, which still pierced her chest. Apparently, That vice-like grip was hurting Satan, as though all the bones in her body were being broken. Again, I would not want to be close to Dlanor for any reason. She's got a brat face.
Yes.
All that remains is this one wedge. It was about Kinzo hiding somewhere in this room, correct?
As the detective, I've searched all of those places. If I didn't find him, just where could he be hiding?
With the final wedge still sticking out of her chest, Dlanor slowly approached Beato. If this wedge was taken out, then...
Allow me to ask, just where in this study is Kinzo hiding?
Well then, maybe he's under the bed.
A check of that place has been finished.
Oh, you know this, don't you?
Yes. It's time.
Maybe he's in the bathtub.
A check of that place has been finished.
The sound effects are on point. The big whoop bang.
Inside the closet. Under the desk. Behind the curtains.
A check of that place has been finished. Check finished. Check finished.
God, I love her longsword effect.
Behind the bookshelf. Behind the closet. Under the carpet. Under the floor. Above the ceiling. Behind the wallpaper. Inside the sofa. Inside the chair. Inside the bed. Inside the blankets. Inside the walls. Inside a rock. Inside a crag. Inside the room.
Holy moly.
Check finished, check finished, check finished, check finished, check finished, finish, check finished, finish. Dies a death, sentenced to death. Great equalizer is the death.
Yeah.
No locations would work against Dlanor by this point. Dlanor took Beato's final desperate onslaught head-on, turning everything back with a far stronger power of denial. Beat them up. Knock them down with overwhelming force. No longer does any place exist in this study for Kinzo to escape to. Beato was blown back like a leaf dancing in the wind, knocked around over and over again like an empty can lying on a road. By now, no matter how many times Beato used the blue truth, it wouldn't be able to defeat Dlanor's red.
I do gotta. We'll get to that in a minute, Erica. I do feel like briefly I'm gonna do a little Japanese lesson for anyone listening at home if you don't already know the thing about this. So Dlanor and her cohorts are obviously like heavenly, and they speak with aplomb. So in Japanese, they always, if you're speaking respectfully, you always end the sentence with des if it's a statement, which is just DESU for us. But so when she was saying check finished every time, she says sumi des. So every single time she'll say sumi des, sumi des, sumi des, and of course, if you take the word death from English and then say it in Japanese, they will say des. So that's why she suddenly said die the death and all that stuff.
Yeah. If you want to see the
makes more
scene, you
sense to
can look
them.
it up on YouTube. There's a clip of it. It's very funny.
It's a great clip.
It is a
Episode
great clip.
5 is full of those. Okay, let's resume.
Witches are so pathetic. You just try to talk your way out of things endlessly, trying to confuse the truth. Let me borrow Dlanor's words. I'm disappointed, Beatrice-san.
We're starting to get some of her, like, really intense sprites that we rarely get. Erika coldly delivered these decisive words to Beato, who was crawling on the ground.
She's losing in like all 3 realms right now.
Mm-hmm.
Detective's authority.
Which is crazy because she doesn't even have to be fighting in this episode.
Yeah.
She literally, like, doesn't have to participate, but she said, nah, I like Nazi. I'm gonna help her.
Yeah. Oh.
The detective has the right to inspect all crime scenes. I have exercised this right. Therefore, I can say this. Kinzo-san is not inside this room. Furthermore, this room is a perfect closed room. From the above 2 points, I can state this fact. This room was empty the whole time. Natsuki-san lied about having met Kinzo-san here last night. That makes this checkmate, Beatrice-san. How's that? Simply by the existence of this room, this level of reasoning is possible for Furuno Erika. What do you think, everyone?
At these words, the final wedge shattered. And at the same time, the pitch-black gate that was about to open shattered once again. This time, the warp portal had been completely destroyed. No longer would Kenzo be permitted to exist in this room or escape from it. Beato struggled to her feet, but that was the best she could do. She no longer had the energy to fight. She had taken all of the denying red head-on from close range. It took all her strength just to withstand a pain so strong, it felt like she'd vomit up all her insides. Even Beato, who had always aimed for the title of strongest and most evil witch, couldn't do a thing against a witch hunter. No matter how sturdy and a sandcastle you build on the beach, it can never win against the rising tide.
Sorry, Kinzo. Looks like this opponent really was tough after all.
Beatrice, I thank you. You've done so much for me despite your remaining grudge.
I guess it's true that your life flashes by when you see death coming. I've remembered how you once looked when you were young. You are annoyingly like Battler.
Dang.
I now pass on everything, my soul and the qualifications of the head, to Battler. I no longer have any regrets.
Battler.
It's been a while that we've gotten some of our boy.
Mm-hmm. He's kind of been outclassed right now, but...
Yeah.
My apologies.
He's thinking.
It's not his turn yet.
How pitiful. Though I swore to fight with you once again. I must settle my accounts like this.
He is up against 2 entirely different witches right now. Instead of just Beatrice like he normally is. He's got to give him a minute.
Yeah.
He's got to think a little bit.
Although at this point, this should still just be Game Piece Battler, which we've discovered.
A rewind.
Yeah.
A replay, I should say.
I'm trying to think. The relationship of Burn Castell to Game Piece Battler has been a little difficult.
Yeah.
Because there's been evidence that she controls him, but there's also been evidence that she doesn't.
Yeah.
So I wonder if there's like an autoplay feature. I don't know.
I presume that she just has the ability to influence him, but not necessarily direct control.
Yeah, it must be something
like
that.
She can give hints and leanings to him in certain ways.
Yeah, so this is half really Battler and half Burn Castell.
Yeah. To Beato, it seemed as though Battler had met her gaze. There was no way he could have. This Battler was the Peace Battler. There was no way he could see Beato in this higher level world. However, his eyes really did meet hers. Even though they couldn't have, Beato was sure they did. As Erika, Eva, and the others closed in on Natsuhi, questioning her over and over, only Battler stood apart from that tumult. His expression held none of the enthusiasm and excitement that the other humans had. It just piercingly and coldly surveyed the scene. And the expression on his face was a quiet displeasure, anger. He wasn't feeling compassion for Natsuhi because her lie was about to be exposed. However, he couldn't excuse Erika, a self-proclaimed intellectual rapist, who simply enjoyed cornering Natsuhi and those who sympathized with her. If Erika never explained that to him, he would not have associated this with being intellectual rape right now.
Yeah.
And he wouldn't have been like, this is horrible.
Mm-hmm.
Then he whispered softly, "It's useless." Are we about to get a Battler moment? Beato and the others definitely heard that.
You don't think Battler might turn things around from this weakened position?
I probably could have done it back in the day. And Battler can probably do it.
This is strange. People are believing in Battler for once. I don't...
Yeah.
Battler.
I don't like this. I don't...
Battler, if you are indeed the man who will inherit everything from me, now is the time to prove it. Don't let the legend of the Golden Witch end here.
Don't let the flame die out.
True.
It's true I met Father here last night. It's true! And he spoke to me of the Ushiromiya family's glorious history, as well as the burden of bearing it.
Your lie has already been exposed, Natsuhi-san. We already know that you were alone in this room last night. Isn't it about time to give up and confess? Culprits who are bad at giving up tend to go with bad mystery novels. At least, in the end, please prove that this is a slightly better third-rate mystery than that.
It's useless. It's all useless.
Please play Dread of the Grave.
Battler,
Oh, this looks too.
who had been silent off by himself until then, spoke. At first, it sounded as though he was attacking Natsuhi. However, when Erika realized he was glaring directly at her, her expression visibly clouded with displeasure. The one person she can't rape.
And just what are you calling useless?
If this is a third-rate mystery, then the detective's third-rate too. Listen up. I'm gonna become grandfather.
Battler? You'll become Kinzo-san? Are you saying you'll become Kinzo-san and reenact his disappearance from this room? Do you actually intend to deny my checkmate? Fool!
What is this man saying?
Hey, new girls. This here's your first game, right? Sorry, but it's totally useless to call checkmate after a little something like that. Yeah, it's all useless.
Okay, so I'm assuming that was Meta Battler,
Battler.
talking to him. Yeah.
Nah, this Peace Battler just knows somehow.
He just walked through the veil there. Anyway. What are you talking about, Battler? You say you'll become dad?
Yeah, I'll reenact it. I'll become grandfather and disappear from this room. You can't use the windows or the door, right? How would you do it? Did you find a hidden door?
I don't have a clue either. It's not a clue.
Russell. That sound wasn't just the noise of the onlookers fidgeting. It was a provocative chill that ran up Erika's spine.
Interesting. I see. You're the successor to Ushiromiya family headship, the one who bears the head's ring. That should more than qualify you to stand in for Kinzo-san. Why don't you let us have a look at your theory?
Erika's expression was no longer a challenging smile. It was malicious, overwhelmingly displeased. She couldn't conceal her anger at having this very pleasurable time of hers ruined. Stop describing it like that. Stop.
I gotta say, one thing that I love about this, as a murder mystery, as if we're looking at it straight up as a mystery again, in every murder mystery novel, almost always, the detective lays out their big theory and they are simply right. And that's the end of it. And I really like the idea of Erika being the detective and then someone being like, you're wrong, and here's why.
Yep.
It's so good, because she's like, what?
That
You
goes
don't see
against
that
Knox's
in
rules.
Christie. Yeah, exactly. You don't see that in the Agatha Christie's and stuff. You don't see the titular, detective be wrong and then get angry about it. But I like that. I like that. We need more of that.
How will he get us out of here?
I've got it. I see. So that move is still open.
So you finally figured it out, you damn geezer. Hidden doors and hiding under the bed. All that stuff is so pitiful it brings tears to the eyes. This is the Ushiromiya Kenzo we're talking about here. There's gotta be a more thrilling and exciting answer.
Exactly. How pitiful that even I couldn't think of it, even though it was about me. And how pitiful that the only one of my relatives to understand me is Battler, the kid who's returned after being gone 6 years. Battler, take my place. Do not shame me.
Sure, Gramps. I'll teach these guests what the dignity of the Ushiromiya family head is all about.
What are you planning to do, Father?
Nazi, Beatrice, watch. We'll show you what being the Ushiromiya family head truly entails.
Battler, what's he trying to prove? There's no way he can do anything. This is a perfect closed room.
Aunt Nazi, come over here. Now move as I tell you to. Battler called Nazi over to the window and whispered something to her with his back towards the others.
Miss Dlanor, you're ready for everything, right? It's not possible for Kinzo and the witch to slip out of this room, right?
Of course. Gertrude, Cornelia, and the palace guards. Double check that the seal of this closed room is perfect.
Please allow me to speak. Our barrier is perfect.
Allow me to speak. There are no hidden doors, and escape will not be granted through either door or window. Palace guards, when Battler engages the barrier, fire arrows without hesitation. Shyster Corps, Roger. Battler-sama, prepare yourself.
Escaping from this room is impossible.
But he'll do it, yeah.
How?
He's certain he can succeed without any without any basis. That's what it means to be the Ushiromiya head, yeah.
Ranove?
Ranove, yeah. Let's watch.
Yeah.
Everyone is here, apparently, now.
Let's see the majesty of Riche's opponent.
Please actually make it good, Battler. Please don't fumble the bag. Then I'll begin. Everyone nodded and watched Battler's every move. Grandfather was lying in bed, like this, grunting his understanding of Aunt Nazi's daily report or whatever. Battler laid down on the bed himself. As if it still mattered now, Erika grumbled about disturbing the crime scene, but no one listened to her. Then, I stop answering and sleep. Well, realistically speaking, I probably get tired of all that talking and only pretend to be asleep.
You really do get it.
Dang!
I see that father has gone to sleep. Bow silently and leave.
Natsuhi lowered her head to Battler, who was still lying down in the bed, and turned around. Then she started wandering around, as though doing an inspection of the room. After seeing that grandfather was asleep, Natsuhi probably did an inspection of the room before leaving. Of course, she had Shannon-chan, and the others cleaned it every day, but she still checked it thoroughly herself, making sure there was no dust piling up, making sure he didn't run out of any consumables.
Yes, this is the room of the precious family head, so I check everything carefully myself, instead of relying entirely on the servants. I always do that.
That's true. Madam usually checks things very carefully. Her inspections are very detailed, and she even checks all of the consumables in the washroom one by one.
In other words, we aren't just talking dust on the windowsill, like you see all the time on TV. She checks to see that there's enough soap and toilet paper in the washroom. Though she probably doesn't have to do it each day, she's very devoted.
That is my routine. I mustn't slack off in my inspection of the head's room for even a single day.
So what's your point? Please keep any showing off to a minimum.
Isn't getting to show off the biggest perk of being a detective?
But I'm the detective.
She's upset. Since we're inside the study, you can probably tell, but even though we call it a study, it wouldn't be wrong to call it a second house inside the mansion. It has a sleeping room, a study, a washroom, and even a toilet and bath. In other words, it isn't a single room. You could call it a full house. Everywhere you...
Yeah.
Thank you for the explanation of the room's layout. However, the move of having him hide somewhere in this room has already been defeated.
He isn't hiding. However, there's going to be several blind spots. For example, if Aunt Natsuhi went into the bathroom to check the amount of toilet paper, most of the study would be outside her range of vision. In other words, for almost every location in the study, the sole observer would have disappeared. The cocked eye gets me every time.
Yeah.
Eleanor.
Observer disappearance! We've lost track of Kinzo! Let it be said that the witch's darkness is filling the study.
Excellent. Watch as it fills with the power of darkness.
So, the observer, if Natsuhi goes away, so what? What next?
When grandfather noticed that fussy Aunt Natsuhi leaving, he got up.
Hi.
On a twisted night such as this, what better way to enjoy a drink than bathed in twisted weather under the night sky?
Since Aunt Natsuhi's in the blind spot of the bathroom, it becomes possible for grandfather to walk about the study at will. It was possible for him to move without Natsuhi's knowledge. It was possible for him to move without contradicting what Natsuhi knew.
Warning, Battler is approaching the study door.
Allow me to speak. A noise rings out when the lock on the study door is released. Know that you cannot leave through the door without Natsuhi thinking something was odd.
Because Battler had acted as though he was heading for the door, Gertrude, who was sealing the door, immediately sent out a warning. Maybe it was possible for him to leave the study while in Natsuhi's blind spot. However...
That's right. There's the sound. We know there's a loud sound when the auto lock is released. Even if Natsuhi was in a blind spot inside the study, she wouldn't miss hearing that. Of course, she'd find it odd. Allow me to speak. Let it be said that Natsuhi did not hear the sound of the door opening while in the room.
The washroom and the toilet are very close to the door. Oh, really? I didn't know that. Even if they hadn't been, the auto lock always lets off such a massive sound. she'd be able to hear that sound no matter what. Natsuhi had already spoken with Erika and the others about the details of the previous night, making it quite clear that nothing out of the ordinary had occurred. Any argument that relied on Natsuhi failing to hear the lock wouldn't work.
Please allow me to speak once more. Kinzo entering or exiting through the door will not be permitted.
Let it be said that this is a useless struggle. It is foolish.
It's true, I can't break through the red of that girl by the door. But what about you over there by the window?
There it is.
Turning his back to Gertrude, who claimed that leaving through the door was impossible. That face. Badler locked his gaze on Cornelia, who stood in front of the window. Make sure you hold that barrier of yours up tight, 'cause you're gonna be blasted away, okay? By now, Badler's target was clear. It was Cornelia. It was the window. He was going to smash this closed room from the window. Not expecting to be chosen as the target herself, Cornelia was overawed for just a second, but she quickly regained her composure. On rare occasions, struggling, fleeing witches would directly challenge the barriers Cornelia set up. Such witches were always fighting desperately on the brink of death.
Please allow me to speak. You are Battler's target, Cornelia. I ask that you be on your guard.
Fool! God, have pity on this foolish lamb.
I'm no sheep. The head of the Ushiromiya family is an eagle with one wing. Don't think you can keep me shut up in this study forever with just a flimsy window like that. Starting from a low posture, both silent and supple, Battler ran forward like a white leopard.
This guy couldn't possibly mean to.
This is... Allow me to speak. There is no way to defeat my red. Know that your wish will not be granted.
Cornelia thrust out both her arms and made a sign. When she did, a red barrier closed in front of Battler.
Know that your course is a fruitless one, Ushiromiya Battler. Know that this window is sealed from the inside, and Natsuhi did not help Kinzo escape.
I'm not saying that Aunt Natsuhi helped Grandfather escape. But what if Grandfather snuck out, keeping it a secret from Aunt Natsuhi?
Why would Kinzo go out the window on his own?
What better way to enjoy a drink on a twisted night than leaping through the rain-swept skies?
I love this.
But this is the 3rd floor, right? It's impossible. Even you've jumped down a flight of stairs at least once in your life, right? 3 stories is nothing for Kinzo.
I wouldn't put it past him.
I certainly wouldn't. That's ridiculous.
Blue cracks appeared in Cornelia's red barrier, and it shattered with a crisp sound. It was all far too quick. It looked almost as though she'd gotten out of the way herself in fear of Battler.
Endless 9! Magic resistance power, Endless 9!
Cornelia-sama, you can't block it. Retreat!
At the same time, the barrier shattered. The window behind Cornelia's back was flung open. The curtains fluttered for just an instant. Though it was all filled with rain, the heavens and the courtyard were spread out in front of them. A fitting exit for an eagle leaping from this closed room.
Cornelia, repair the barrier. As you wish, Commander Dlanor. Know that you will not be allowed to break this.
Cornelia quickly returned to her senses and set up another red barrier. However, this was her last one.
Please, allow me to speak. Let us accept for the time being that Kinzo escaped through the window. In that case, how did he lock a window which cannot be locked from the outside? The window was locked from the inside.
Kinzo didn't lock it.
Useless.
Yeah, it's all useless. Kinzo and Battler grinned. Did she think this feeble red could block the charge of Battler and Kinzo, the two family heads? After Grandfather jumped out the window, and Natsuhi probably noticed a slight draft. She then approached the window, realized it was open, and quickly closed and locked it.
Natsuhi couldn't have imagined I'd slip out the window.
Yeah, so it's only natural that Aunt Natsuhi thought Kinzo was sleeping in bed. Now that Battler had found the answer, the red barrier was more fragile than thin glass. The red magical wall of certainty had been smashed again, so easily that it disgraced the name of certainty itself. Unbelievable, right? That barrier was more firm than any Ronove had ever used against Jessica, and yet it had been destroyed so easily. Though Battler was rushing fiercely and had almost reached Cornelia, she didn't step aside. Her steel spirit, worthy of the name Einse und Jungfrau, didn't allow her to step aside. She took a charm from her pocket, placed it against the thin air, and made a sign. Then, not red, but blue burned there. Though it was far more frail than the red barrier, it was her last method of resistance.
You won't get through. You won't. Let me speak. Be that as it may, this is the 3rd floor. How could a wingless human escape from the window? Know that you won't get through. You won't!
Just quit your whining and watch.
This is the answer! Ah! Battler jumped. He burst through Cornelia and her blue barrier, knocked them away, and his body flew out the window through the darkness of the rainy sky. Have we heard this song before?
Oh, I don't know. I don't think so.
I just got an achievement.
What?
Break free. Battler jumps out of the study window. The fragments of the blue barrier scattered, beautifully adorning the surrounding air. The closed room had been smashed open. Battler flew out of the mansion, through the sky above the rainy courtyard. All the raindrops became small, round gems and were scattered through the air. Battler flew across the treasure box of that exquisite stormy sky, through the countless gems of rain that filled it. In the sky over the world frozen in time, Dlanor and Battler faced each other. If Battler, who had smashed and flown out the window, was like a knight leaping off a white horse, then Dlanor was another knight who floated in the air, waiting for him. In the air above the courtyard, surrounded by the Ushiromiya mansion and frozen in time, the true new head of the Ushiromiya family and the disciple of heaven who would test him crossed paths.
Well done. When you fall in the courtyard, whether you live or die, it won't change the fact that Kenzo could have defeated this closed room. You who have thrown away your life and jumped are a martyr. Well done. You have smashed our closed room barrier. Splendid, Ushiromiya Battler. However, I am the head inquisitor of heresy, Dlanor A. Knox. I cannot allow you to escape from under my nose. Now, at the end, allow me the honor of crossing swords with you.
Sure. Bring it on. This game is surprisingly unrelenting. In this world where the gems of rain fell slowly like large snowflakes on a snowy field, Dlanor and Battler slowly crossed paths. It seemed slow. And yet, it happened in a flash. Their gazes crossed and clashed like lightning. Night confronted night head-on, and everything would be settled with a single strike. Blue and red crossed paths.
Was it shown beforehand that a blind spot existed within the study for Natsuhi? If it wasn't shown, this theory will not be permitted. Knox's 8th. It is forbidden for the case to be resolved with clues that are not presented.
Dlanor's double strike with both the blue and red blades reached out to slice Battler. And failed. Those longswords, which had never lost over the course of 100 battles, cut through empty air. When we entered the study, its structure was clearly described. Too bad for you. For the first time, an expression showed on Dlanor's face. It was a sudden smile. She had known about that long before. However, she still couldn't let him escape without attempting that single strike. Not even with her reputation as an inquisitor of heresy on the line. She still crossed swords with Battler, even though she knew it would fail.
Yes, I knew. With your answer, Knox's 8th is not violated.
Here it comes. No hard feelings.
Yes, come.
In Battler's hand was a blade that shone red. That blade etched out the red truth. It wouldn't be an exaggeration to say that Kinzo's study was a small villa he had created inside the mansion. A study, a library, a place to sleep, and a bathroom and washroom. It was divided into multiple rooms. That has already been shown. And it suggested that there could have been a blind spot somewhere within the room. Without any mercy, no. Without any reluctance, which would have been dishonorable, the sword of red truth cut into Dlanor. It cut a beautiful hemisphere through the countless gems of rain that filled the sky.
Well, done.
Time exploded into life. Both of them fell through the courtyard. One drifted down. The other tumbled through the air. Then there was a soft sound and a dull thud. The first was the sound of Battler landing gently in the courtyard. Really? Gently? The second was the sound of Dlanor crashing down. After crouching down for a while, Battler slowly stood up. Though he had jumped down from the 3rd floor, he had landed as lightly as though he had merely jumped over a fence.
Battler!
Beato leaned out of the study window, looking to see if the supposedly wingless Battler had landed safely. Beato! Come on, jump!
Huh?
That window is our way out! So jump! You aren't the kind of witch who can be locked up inside a closed room, right? The study was no longer a closed room. She could jump from here, escape from here. By now, the closed room that had threatened to capture the witch and suffocate her had been destroyed.
Yes. You too, Kinzo. Go. From the moment Battler showed his answer, my spirit had already escaped from this room.
Kinzo's form became a cloud of gold butterflies and disappeared. The closed room barrier had dissolved, and the power that denies magic had scattered. Beato ran towards the window. That was the only exit from the closed room of this witch hunt. After glancing at the Shyster sisters and the subordinates of the Inquisitor of Heresy, she readied her wound-covered body and ran towards the window just like Battler had done. She looked like Cinderella running as she heard of the bell toll.
There's no way we'll let you escape, Beatrice, illusion of the witch.
Erica flew at Beato, trying to latch on to Beato as she dashed. That's a funny image. But it was like trying to catch smoke, and she landed face first on the floor. There's no way a human could catch a witch. For one such as her, without love, even touching Beato was impossible.
Mr. Core, shoot the witch! Shoot her dead!
Alignment conflict, unable to fire.
Allow me to speak. I have no barrier prepared that can block Battler's blue truth.
Both Shyster, 00, and Gertrude spoke with unbelievably calm voices.
No one can stop them? Not Battler, not Kinzo? Not Beatrice? If these guys managed to escape... My closed room. My theory. I'm... the detective. Furudo. Erica.
Erica crouched, screaming and clutching at her head. Counter-intellectual
Consensual intellectual.
Yeah, consensual. her worst nightmare. The Great Golden Witch isn't gonna be defeated by something like that geezer's grubby study. It's still just the first Twilight. I'll teach these newcomers that your game isn't that easy. Bro, he's gonna get Beatrice to come back. He can do it. I believe in him.
I don't know, Walt.
I don't know, Walt. I don't know, Nazi. You've been acting sus lately. Just like Battler, Beato also flew. There's a CG for ya.
I was gonna say, thank goodness. Now I have several to carry us out to the rest of the episode.
Holy moly.
Mm-hmm.
I got a big stupid smile on my face right now.
Like Battler?
Probably even more than Battler, bro. She drifted down through the rain treasure box world into Battler's chest. Battler caught her with both arms, as though catching a feather from an angel. It was like a knight catching a princess who had been locked up in a tower. Like a beautiful picture of a scene in some fairy tale.
Crap. I think I'm in love. Uh-oh, the Usiona family heads like this?
If you were to write down the unprecedented feats of Ushiromiya Kinzo, you would probably have an uproarious tale longer than all the grimoires in the study put together.
Umineko prequel would go hard.
True, Neko Umi.
When the seagulls fly.
Ooh. Maybe that's what Kokoni is and we just don't know it.
Dang.
Oh. It seems the tale of the next head will be worth writing down as well. In fact, it already is being written. It's already a very, very long tale.
Yes, it is, Ronove. Ronove giving a knowing wink to us who have been here for over 500 hours.
Oh.
The demons giggled on top of the roof, holding umbrellas. Then, they quietly looked down over the two in the courtyard. Now, Kith.
You're not bad at all.
I guess all your games have toughened me up. In shock, Beato actually praised Battler as he held her in his arms. Battler laughed in his usual carefree way.
This is impossible. Impossible!
Erica looked down from the window and clenched her teeth, still clutching at her head. Still holding Beato in his arms, Battler grinned back. Erica.
They really are going crazy from the Answers arc. Look at them using 2 big background CGs.
Yeah.
Okay.
What?
I'm not giving the riddle of the Golden Witch to you. I'll solve it. That riddle belongs to the two of us. Right, Beato?
Indeed. My riddle is...
Say it! Say it! Yo. When Battler laughed evilly, Beato's face turned uncharacteristically red. But even so, she spoke while laughing loudly.
My riddle is... yours. Yours alone, Ushiromiya Battler. I won't let anyone else solve it.
Listen to her, saying something like that. Battler snorted, amused that Beato had said something so out of character. And still, holding Beato in his arms. She's still in his arms? Dang. He spun around in a kind of waltz. The falling gems of rain celebrated their victory over this trial.
He jumped down from the 3rd story, and he's all right? He jumped down and escaped from the closed room? This is ridiculous. This isn't reasoning. It's insane.
Kinzo is insane, yes. If Battler had at least been seriously injured and writhing in the mud, Erica might have had some ground to stand on. She might have been able to claim that Kinzo couldn't have jumped down with his old body and gotten away unscathed. However, Battler stood calmly in the courtyard, looking up at Erica with the dignity of the victor.
Whoa. But also, I don't even know what I was gonna say. That sprite face shocked me. Okay.
Everyone, I'll ask one more time. This is impossible, right?
Oh, I remember what I was gonna say now. She's definitely the Wojak.
There's no way a human could jump down from a 3rd story and land unharmed. Isn't that right, everyone? Much less Kinzo-san jumping down from the 3rd floor at his age. This isn't reasoning.
Erica tried to get everyone's agreement and somehow turn things around, but their responses were no different from how they'd been a short while ago.
No, it would be possible for Kinzo-san.
I wouldn't put it past Father. This is Father we're talking about.
There's plenty of crazy stories about that man. Something like this wouldn't surprise me a bit.
What? Is there something wrong with your heads?
Yes.
With your brains,
Yes.
people?
At any rate, it looks like your closed room argument wasn't perfect.
Uh,
Even though she's a smug little brat, I do feel bad for her.
I love it when things don't go her way. It's so funny to me.
Not only the servants, but the family members also agreed. Okay, that's what I was waiting for. I was waiting for us to cut back to reality and for them to all be like, yeah, of course, the Battler... Because I was also thinking this might have been a bait and switch where, like, it cuts back to reality and Battler's, like, dead. on the ground.
No. This is one of those things, if you choose to look at it mystery mode, there, like they said, there definitely is a chance that he probably more than often would have been hurt. But you got to remember, he was being directed by the Witch of Miracles.
He was. And there also is always just a chance in real life that you could just miraculously not be hurt. So.
And also, even if he had been in pain, it wouldn't matter because then it's not a closed room and like the culprit or anyone could have
just
body.
moved Kinzo's body if Kinzo died.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it still would have broke it.
Not only the servants, but the family members also agreed. They all agreed that there was nothing strange about Kinzo jumping down from a third-floor window.
Just who in the world is this Ushiromi, a Kinzo person?
You had to be there, Erica.
Mm-hmm.
You weren't with us in the opening of episode 1. You...
Well, I'll give you 60 points. Kinzo would have done it with a bit more flash in his younger days.
He would have done a flip.
It needs some more tweaking.
Oh. And how much should it be tweaked?
Well, he might have jumped down with me in his arms.
Got it. Next time, I'll do that.
If you think you can, just you try.
Beato's voice grew very faint, and she gulped. Then, her body suddenly crumbled away into a cloud of gold butterflies. Which means that she had to have let him catch her if she could have just done that.
Yeah.
That was because many people had rushed up to the window, and she was being bathed with the gazes filled with the anti-magic toxin. Okay, I guess. If you want to rob me of my fantasy that she wanted to be caught by Battler, okay. What if I deny it? What if I say no? What if in my world, Beatrice wanted to be caught by Battler?
You don't want to do that. You're going to summon Dlanor again.
Dang!
You're going to start trying to prove it.
Beato's body became invisible to them and melted into the air. So, to their eyes, it appeared that Battler was standing all alone out in the courtyard.
Battler! You okay?
It looks like he's fine. Thank goodness.
Oh, hi, Dlanor.
What did I tell you?
Thought you were gone.
I have lost. In that case, for the benefit of those people in the study as well, deliver your final blow to me. Use your final blue truth to show how Kinzo escaped from the closed room of that study.
There was no pain in Dlanor's expression. Pleasure and pain never showed up on her face in the first place. I beg to differ when we got the Sumides. However, she was only barely able to rise to her feet, using her longsword as a crutch, so it was easy to guess how heavily she'd been damaged. And, despite her lack of an expression, you could tell that this was a loss she could accept. Battler and Dlanor turned to face each other. Here I go.
Yes. Come.
As though readying herself, Dlanor quietly closed her eyes, but she still stood tall and maintained her air of dignity. This is my blue truth. The blue power gathered. Battler slowly approached Dlanor. Then, he faced the rainy sky and yelled out the blue truth. Ushiromi Kinzo escaped from the study through the window when Aunt Natsuhi couldn't see him, and Natsuhi didn't notice and locked the window. In this way, Aunt Natsuhi saw Grandfather go to bed, yet Grandfather was able to escape from the study without contradicting the lock of the window or the door sealed by the receipt. I have just demonstrated that it was physically possible for him to escape. Therefore, this battle is over. The blue wedge flashed through the courtyard along with a blue bolt of lightning, roaring down towards Dlanor's forehead as she stared up at the sky. Beato's game isn't forgiving. It's doubtful whether the classic patterns of the mystery genre even work here. Your swordsmanship isn't bad, but you ought to be a little bit more flexible in your thinking. A massive blue wedge that looked like a pillar was above Dlanor's forehead, and had stopped with its tip just slightly touching her. It didn't run her through. It made no mark larger than being poked with a pencil. When Battler snapped his fingers, the blue wedge shattered and became a shower of translucent gems. No, drops of rain that poured down over the courtyard. Dlanor sat down in a dazed sort of way. All the girls are gonna fall in love with him.
Yeah.
He's in his popular phase. Amidst the thunder and rain. Actually, honestly, he's been in his popular phase for the whole game, just for worse reasons earlier.
True. I believe Ava said
earlier, huh?
Yeah. Ava said in episode 1, she was like, I'm sure you break girls' hearts left and right, or something like that.
Yep. The successor to the Ushiromiya family headship faced the people staring down from the study and spread his arms wide. Welcome to Beatos and my game. Welcome, Furudo Erika.
How amusing, Ushiromiya battler. Good. Truly good, though. Chew it to bits. This riddle of the witch. All the way deep into its guts while it's still alive.
Battler and Beato both looked calmly up at Erika, who couldn't contain her evil laugh.
Because she's a rat.
This is good stuff. Erika, that was so lame. Lady Berncastel, I apologize.
That look on your face. It's so incredibly laughable that I'd like to smash it and put a frame around it. My double is so pathetic, lame.
Bathed in the sneers of Bernkastel, a being who was like a mother to her, Erika was so ashamed that it looked as though she'd chew her lower lip to pieces.
Someday, I'll definitely go. Ushiromiya battler, Beatrice, Ushiromiya, Naku.
Loses once.
Yeah. She's the Wojak, bro, I'm telling you. She...
Oh, man. This riddle is ours. I won't let anyone get in the way. Beatrice.
Yes.
Took you long enough, bozo.
Wow. Long chapter, but a good
Long
one.
chapter.
Oh, time's flying by. What in the
2
world?
hours? Wow. Okay. Everyone kind of got tired after a battler disproved Erika, I guess. They all went to go rest for a minute.
Erika was seething.
Yeah. Coping, one might even say.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we're in the Golden Land?
Looks like it.
It's raining. In the Golden Land, the quiet rain just kept on falling. In the arbor sat with the sad witch whose eyes had lost their glint, and Battler. Oh, sat, not sat with, excuse me. Virgilia could also be seen there. She sat next to Beato, knitting quietly. Lambda Delta's game had passed the climax of the first twilight, and they were taking a short break. Gazing out at the golden rose garden soaked with rain, Battler considered the present, what was to come, and what had happened so far. To Battler, the act of thinking was itself a battle. Even with the game stopped and Beato unable to speak, he could still keep on fighting. Virgilia suddenly stopped her knitting. Battler noticed it too, because though none should have been able to visit this rose garden, she had noticed a silhouette approaching.
That's unusual. Not many people are capable of reaching this place.
It's her. That silhouette, which walked amidst the quietly falling rain without so much as an umbrella, was Dlanor.
Oh. Alright. I probably gotta go.
Good place to end it.
Yeah, we got through that whole chapter, and Dlanor. We ended this one the same way we ended the last one.
Yeah.
Dlanor showed up.
Dlanor's here. Let me save, but also just briefly, we do have these gangs are here.
True.
We got the Shysters back. We unfortunately don't have 556, the secret one. It seems.
Yeah.
Dang.
Dang.
Yeah. Do you want to read these now, or should we wait till next time? Would it take too much time?
Yeah, we'll just read through them next time.
Okay.
We'll just remember.
Well, I say.
But yeah, that's that, folks. That's like, I don't know if it's for sure, but that's one of the most exciting things about episode 5 is the well, I don't know what you want to call it, the study closed room. I always think of it as the window jumping scene.
It's the 3-layered fight.
Yeah.
The multi-dimensional debate.
Oh, I love that. The introduction of Dlanor, the fight between Beatrice and Erica and Dlanor and all of them, and then Battler weighing in with Kinzo, and
I just
it's just so good.
This has nothing to do with like everything that just happened. But now, because of how Dlanor's troops were dressed, and we also know that the Shysters are heavenly, supposedly, it is now proven that all of those outfits were probably mandated to the demons when they were still angels, so God dressed them that way.
Yeah. Obviously.
Big dog. No, I'm kidding.
Oh. What do they call that? The absolute zone? Absolute territory?
Absolute territory.
Yeah.
There's a good Ken Ashbrook song about that.
He was a big proponent of all that.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so that's them. Some of my favorite characters from episode 5. Love Erica Fudo, love Dlanor. I mean, like, obviously, you know, you love, like, Beatrice, you love Battler. But, like, I really like Erica and Dlanor.
Dlanor was one of those things that before I had started playing the game, back when Pertuset was, like, showing me little clips of the game, she was one of the few things that he was like, this isn't too spoilerish if I just show you this. And he showed me the check finished scene, but in Japanese with the voice acting. And I have been so excited to get to that the entire time we've played, and getting to be her was even more exciting for that moment.
Yeah.
So.
Sumi des, brother. Sumi des.
Sumi des.
Oh, I do really like Dlanor. She's a funny character. Well, like, Erica is like, she's the Wojak.
Erica is the one. I did not expect to get so much seething from her.
Yeah, see, that's why I love it, because she does that thing where she'll get smug and she'll be like, "See, I'm right," and then one thing proves her wrong, and she's like,
Holds grudge forever.
yeah. And then Dlanor is more like the Chad, because she's like, "I've done everything. I know I'm right." And someone's like, "Here's one thing that proves you wrong," and she's like, "Dang,
Yeah.
kill me."
Yeah. Guess you have to kill me.
Yeah. Oh.
And
so.
Battler is the Sigma. No.
True.
He makes his
And
own
Beatrice.
path.
Beatrice is the skibbity.
Okay, we're done.
Yeah,
We're
that's
done.
about it.
Get me out of here.
We'll be back. We'll be back, I think, Thursday.